Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, and our good friends over at Green Man Gaming have just kicked off a great flash sale celebrating the upcoming release of Resident Evil Requiem. They've put a lot of the other Resident Evil games on sale. We'll cover those deals and also a couple of other upcoming titles that I do want to highlight that are hotly anticipated. First of all, Resident Evil Requiem is in fact out tomorrow. Preloads are live right now. You can get the game discounted over at Green Man Gaming, 18% off for $57.39. You won't pay tax either, as this is the first $70 Resident Evil title. Great opportunity to go on over to GMG, get it a little bit cheaper. They do have the deluxe edition discounted as well, 18% off for $65.59. The deluxe edition doesn't really include anything that major. You get 5 costumes, 4 weapon skins, 2 filters, 2 charms, an audio pack, and letters from 1998 files. Both editions do include the pre-order bonus of Grace's costume of the Apocalypse, so you can get that as well if you pre-order the game. Preloads are live right now, and the game will be playable at midnight. The game has been received very well. The PC version was sitting at a 91 on Metacritic last I checked. Capcom's been firing on all cylinders when it comes to the Resident Evil titles, and it looks like Requiem is no different. Hopefully you guys have been able to stay away from the spoilers because the leaks are literally everywhere, unfortunately, and I'm sure come tomorrow, you're literally gonna have videos with titles that, like, literally spoil the ending. Unfortunately, it's the reality of the current climate of the internet era, but nonetheless, incredibly excited for the game. Performance looks solid if you're playing it on a PC, a dedicated PC. Looks like the Steam Deck performance could be a little bit shoddy, but it looks like also Capcom is gonna work on optimizing that, so we'll see how all of that turns out. But $57.39 on that. I totally get it. Some of you guys do not want to spend $57 on a video game. Maybe some of you guys aren't even Resident Evil fans, so why not check out some of the great games? And look, I could recommend you to go play Resident Evil 2. I could recommend this game, that game, BIOHAZARD. The best game, if you want to get into Resident Evil, is Resident Evil 4 Gold Edition. I think a lot of people will agree with me on that. This is legitimately one of the greatest video games of all time. The original was. The remake is even better. The Gold Edition includes the Separate Ways DLC, which is quite good as well. The game is phenomenal. I cannot say enough good things about Resident Evil 4, and what I will always say about Resident Evil is there is that perception of, these games are only 15 hours long, even shorter than that at times, and I'm paying a premium price point on it. Is it really worth it? Resident Evil, when it's done well, like Resident Evil 4, these games are so good that I am going to go back and play them over and over and over again. And somebody in a recent video of mine made the same exact point, that I've gone back and they've gone back and played through Resident Evil 4 so many times that it outpaces how many hours we've gotten out of literal open world RPGs, because the game is at such a high level. That's why I'm such a big proponent of games that are all killer, very little filler, or no filler whatsoever, and Resident Evil 4 really does exemplify that. The game is tremendous, the remake is fantastic. I know there was some issues with the DRM recently, however, the performance should still be fine for those of you guys running on a decent PC. The game is great. I played a lot of this on the Steam Deck as well. I played it a lot on the ROG Ally. It's a great game on those platforms as well. It's a tremendous title, and for $16.60, it's an outstanding, outstanding deal. Would highly recommend that. Then we do have Resident Evil Village Gold Edition, and I would also obviously recommend BIOHAZARD, Resident Evil 7. Those are both really good games. Village is $12.45, so if you already have BIOHAZARD, definitely pick up Village. Village is a great title as well, and this version will get you the DLC as well, so great pickup there. I definitely am more in line with like RE4 and the Leon Resident Evil games over Village and over BIOHAZARD, but I get that a lot of people really dug the return to more of the survival horror atmosphere. I mean, BioHazard in particular, I think is a pretty eerie game. So, yeah, Village there. And then Resident Evil 7 Gold Edition is $8.54. That's a great pickup as well if you just want to pick this one up. I think for most people, Resident Evil 4 is the best one to get into the series. Resident Evil 2 is also a pretty good option. That's $8.50. RE2 is more of that inventory management survival horror-esque game, where Resident Evil 4, I feel, took the series more to an action-heavy route. And it still had its survival horror elements, don't get me wrong. RE2 is great, though. RE2 is fantastic. I literally just did another playthrough of this game ahead of Requiem's release, and I was going through the Leon Resident Evil games. I think a lot of people were going through the Leon Resident Evil games ahead of Requiem's release, but yes, I was one as well. It's a very short game. You do have to play through it twice. There's a playable route with Leon, and then you play as Claire as well. And if you want all of the story, you gotta go through both routes. Definitely don't just play it once. And one playthrough is fairly quick. Like, you could beat one playthrough of this game, like just the Leon round, in like 5 to 6 hours. There's people that speedrun it in, 2 hours or around that range. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, going through both routes, it'll be a quality time. 850 on that is great. And then, to keep the Resident Evil train rolling, I always like to give a shout to Resident Evil Revelations. Man, I think this game is criminally underrated. I think it's a really good game, and unfortunately it came out in a period where Resident Evil was kind of at a low period with like RE6 and whatnot, and Resident Evil wasn't getting a lot of shine. Revelations came out initially as a 3DS only title and was a game that showcased what the 3DS could do, but beyond that, it was a worthwhile game in its own right, and I thought it was a really solid title. And if you want to pick this up, $4.25, definitely, this is not the Resident Evil game that I would recommend you to pick up to get into the series. That is, again, RE4, RE2, even BIOHAZARD, those are great options. Revelations is for those of you that I would consider the core Resident Evil fans, but you missed a couple games, you missed a game here or there, and Revelations is one a lot of people missed, and I think it's worthwhile. $4.25, great deal on that. So those are the Resident Evil deals. Couple of other deals, and then I'll get out of here. Crimson Desert is coming out. The hype is increasing. They've done one of the best promotional pushes for this game that I have ever seen in my life. XP members get it 15% off for $59.49, but guess what? If you're not an XP member, use the code FEB15 and you'll get 15% off as well. If you're watching this video in March, the code will probably ship to MAR15, so MAR15, it's just whatever the month is. Yeah, I'm super excited for this game, man. I think Pearl Abyss has done a phenomenal job in promoting this game. Really one of the best promotional pushes I've ever seen out of a game, and it makes me happy because so often we've seen promotional pushes of games like Concord, Fair Game, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, games that are just atrocious and like just exemplify how out of touch some of these publishers are. Pearl Abyss, I feel like, really had their finger on the pulse on, people's skepticism with this game, but guess what? They show more and more of it. They showcase all of the features. The one caveat I think more people want to know about, a lot of people want to know about, is the exact performance specifications, but I'm sure that's coming. Based on how transparent they've been, which is very rare for a publisher like this, it's like pretty phenomenal what they've managed to do, and there's gonna be content creators that got to play 6 hours of the game. That embargo will be lifting next week. There's a lot to sink your teeth into ahead of the release of Crimson Desert as far as content to look at, but nonetheless, 15% off there. And then I will say this is going a little bit under the radar, but I really hope people pay attention to it as we get closer to March 13th. Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection. There is a free demo available right now. The demo progress will carry on over to the full game. Use the code FEB15 here as well to save 15%. Guys, I think this game is looking tremendous. Love the art style. I think this game is looking to take Monster Hunter Stories to another level, and how about that? Capcom, in the span of 2 weeks, releasing Resident Evil Requiem and Monster Hunter Stories 3. And then in April, they've got Pragmata coming out as well, and by the end of the year, they'll have Onimusha Way of the Sword. What a year it has been for Capcom. Really a banner year for the publisher, even if, sometimes on the PC side of things, they infuriate us with the DRM. Man, in terms of just sheer game output, they might be the best publisher in all of gaming right now. Is that a little bit too big of a stretch? I don't know. Let me know, you guys. But their output is just insane these days. And the quality level as well. Yeah, they'll have the Exoprimals of the world that are, not great. But man, how they've turned around Resident Evil. Monster Hunter, even though Wilds had its issues, obviously, it was still a gigantic game. And Requiem received incredibly well. You got Monster Hunter Stories 3. Again, Onimusha, Pragmata, I think, is shaping up nicely. But yeah, Stories 3, link in the description box below. Maybe play the demo first to get an idea of what to expect out of the game. But a gorgeous JRPG to be expected March 13th. But that is going to do it for me. Again, check out Requiem, preload live right now. If you buy it on GMG, they are sending out the keys immediately. So check that out. A lot of other great deals and links to everything, as always, in the description box below. That'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.